liftoff.
Houston, we have liftoff.
Yes. And today we have... Did you even hear that?
Have you left the gas on, Roger? Now you sound like an angry goose. Hissing away.
I think I've had a bit too much to drink or something. That's our sound of the week. The th in English that is not voiced.
No, it's not voiced. It's
yeah. We'll get into that in a second.
Yes, we will.
What else have we got? We've got.
So we have Name That Sound. We got the phenomenal phoneme as we have just been discussing. Then I have a tongue twister for Roger. Using the sound. Yes, we have. What else? We have Word of the Week. Of course, a Word of the Weeks. And then we have a word, goblins. But today we will be dealing with certain kinds of spellings. As you guys know, English can be very annoying when it comes to spelling.
It's annoying for a lot of people, especially when you're learning it as a second language, I think. The biggest problems, no? Intonation. We got an intonation game that you can try when you're practicing your pronunciation. And then I've got, we'll find out a great question for you, Rahim. Well, you can choose. Cool. You can choose a number, and I'll give you a question. Yes, from a list. So we don't know what the question's going to be. It's going to be a surprise to both you and me, I think.
Okay.
It will be.
So how's it going to work? I just pick a number, and then you just ask the number correlated to the question. Basically.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it.
Anyway, let's get the show on the road with Name That Sound. Let's have a listen. What do we think it is? Yes, you don't want to hear that in the middle of the night, do you? You wake up and you hear that.
No, you would be petrified, I think.
You'd be getting the stick that you keep hidden under your bed out, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, a baseball bat, more like.
A baseball bat, golf club.
You got the golf club, I got the baseball bat under my bed. Yes, just in case I hear that kind of a sound. What is that sound?
Yes, it's the opening and closing of a door. Yes, I hope you got that one right. It wasn't a squeaky door. Somebody had obviously oiled it, so it just heard it opening, the latch opening, and then shutting again. Yes, maybe we should have had a squeaky sound, a squeaky door. That'd be more interesting. Anyway, lovely. Good. Hopefully you did get that one, and let's move on, shall we? To our
before we move on, just a quick point on that one there, just to elaborate. You say we don't want to be hearing that kind of noise. It's true. I used to work in the sort of horror department in Thorpe Park and these various amusement parks. And there was one of the amusement parks that in the UK, that's correct. There was one of these amusement parks where you could actually stay the night, and you actually pay money for people to scare you in the middle of the night. So you're in your hotel. It's like a hotel suite. You know, you got your bed, you got your partner with you, whatever, and there's people hiding under the bed and.
Hiding under the bed? What, you don't
hiding
even check
under the bed, waiting for you to, like, just about to fall asleep, and they start banging and making noises. So you pay people to scare the living daylights out of you.
Yeah, we
can you believe it?
We can be careful what words we use here. It's scare the living daylights out of you. I like that. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Is that what you used to do then? Is it?
Well, no, I wasn't the person in the rooms waiting. No. I used to do some live shows during the day and during the night. But there were some people who would do that kind of work. And I mean, for me, it's like, why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah, why would you? Well, clearly people enjoy it for some reason. But horror movie, do you like horror movies though?
I love horror movies.
Do you?
I see it from a different angle. That's the thing, you see. When I see like blood and bits hanging off, I think, oh wow, that was made well. I wonder how he did that. I wonder how that was created. So I'm thinking of it in a different sense. I kind of ruined the magic of horror for myself. So I'm always wanting to know how they did it.
How they created. Yeah. Okay. No, it's not something I like to watch. I avoid it. I avoid all horror movies. Unless they're a little bit more sort of, I mean, like Hitchcock type horror.
Suspense. He's the master of suspense, Hitchcock. Yeah, it wasn't really horror per se. Well, I suppose it is horror. No, it is horror. But it's all about suspense and the expectation of something and your imagination almost. That's why he was the master. He didn't need to use like fake like prosthetics and blood and CGI. No, he used the human imagination and something that you expect to happen.
Next, we're on to Phenomenal Phoneme.
Oh yes, the Phenomenal Phoneme stage. And what is the Phenomenal Phoneme today?
Well, we introduced it right in the beginning. Think.
The thing is, you see, I can't really hear if you're actually making a noise. So I'm going to just do that again. Can you hear it? Yeah? Because when you do it, I can't hear it for some reason. It's too weak.
Can't you?
You need a bit more power. You need a bit more power, Roger. Come on.
Then it'll sound like... sounds like in a gale,
spitting on
probably.
The mic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It can be a little bit difficult to pronounce, but we'll come on to that in a second. So we've got it in words like think and breath. Yep. Math, if you're American, or maths, if you're British.
Everyone's favorite subject. Or bath. There we go.
To have a bath, even.
Or a bath, if you're American. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Tooth.
Both.
Tenth.
Beneath.
And we're taking a bit of a spelling path this evening.
Oh, yes. Or I'm going to walk on the path. And in American, they say sidewalk, which is quite funny for me. I always thought the word sidewalk, as opposed to using path, was quite funny.
Yeah. So here's a sentence with a lot of sounds in them. While taking a deep breath, I think about doing maths problems in the bath with my 10th toothbrush, both above and beneath the path.
Wonderfully said. What
the what?
Okay, I would like to try that one, actually. That sounded really well. That sounded really good. Let me try.
Go on then.
While taking a deep breath, I think about doing maths problems in the bath with my 10th toothbrush, both above and beneath the path. There we go. Did you make that one up?
It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Well, everything but the final bit, I think.
Yeah. But my
trying to use all the words that we had. Yes, yeah. Doing maths problems with your toothbrush. I mean, yeah.
Who does that?
More like little yellow rubber ducks in the bath, I think. Doing maths.
Well, who was it? The person who invented the Eureka can, who shouted "Eureka!" He used to sit in the bath and think.
Archimedes.
That's the one. There you go. And that's how we invented the Eureka can, by sitting in the bath, because of a certain amount of mass in the water, like in the bath water, sort of like, overspilled, and ding, Eureka. Hence where the Eureka can comes into play.
Yeah, it was about measuring the volume of objects without knowing how to calculate it. Because the volume of the object, when you put it in, displaces the same amount of volume of water. It's going back to school days. I don't go.
Yeah, exactly. A long time ago.
Anyway, this TH sound, in terms of making the sound, you need to put, if you're watching this on YouTube, then you can see the videos. You put your tongue behind your teeth, or just under your front teeth, okay, your front top teeth. And you stick your tongue out a little bit if you want. And then, and it's not very strong, okay? You've got to find the right balance, how much pressure you want to put on your teeth, basically. Too much, and nothing's going to happen. And too little, it's going to go...
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. We use it a lot with the ordinal numbers, especially using the date system, like after the first, the second, and the third, they're all the th, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, etc., etc. Yeah, so used a lot in the ordinal numbers.
Yeah, so you need to get used to pronouncing this sound. It needs to become as natural as possible and as easy as possible, I guess. Tell us about the airflow, Rahim.
Airflow. So the sound is produced by allowing air to flow out between the tongue and the upper front teeth. If you can see that, the air is kind of shooting slightly that direction. Here we go.
Which is up to the people who are not watching.
Yes, exactly.
On YouTube,
exactly. If you're not watching it, yes, exactly. I'm shooting the air slightly up. Yeah, it's like towards my nose. So there should be a gentle and continuous airflow. 10th, like that. Teeth. Okay.
Nice and calm, nice and easy. As with all, when you're practicing phonetics and English pronunciation, I always say you should be in a kind of Zen-like state. You should be all tranquil, calm. Don't force anything. Don't try and make it and get angry with it or whatever. It makes it a lot worse. You just take a deep breath, and then just slowly make the sound.
There we go.
Nice and calm. We've got two TH sounds in English. This is the voiceless, what we call voiceless. So we don't make sounds together with this. This is just air, like the H. It's just air that comes out. Yeah, continuous flow. If we make it voiced, then whilst it's still the TH sound, it's a different, obviously a different pronunciation, but different words. So think about the difference between, for example, think and this, that. It's a different pronunciation. So we're just talking about just the air that's coming out. Yes.
Yeah. So if the other sound is more of a vibration, instead of just a nice constant airflow, it's a vibration. Like so think, airflow, where this vibrating, your tongue is vibrating against your teeth. This, and then the difference is think, this. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes your tongue all tickly. Oh, I have to do it too many times. Right, so the next one is common mistakes. So let's address the common mistakes, such as substituting the th with an F, which is a f, which I've seen so many times. Example, saying the 10th, people would say the 10th, the 10th. Especially if you come from the southern part of London. I hear this a lot in pronunciation. 10th, 10th, 10th. But yeah. Or S, 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 S. And yeah, there we go. There's a distinct difference between the th and the f and the th for my trained ear, but for people starting out, it's quite difficult to differentiate the sounds, especially when you're learning phonetics and learning how to pronounce things correctly. The th, f, s, very, very similar sounds in that respect.
Yeah, the position of the tongue and the mouth and what have you is very, very similar. And because also with the H, you've just got the air coming out. So, as you say, to an untrained ear, when you're not familiar with the sounds, they all sound exactly the same. Particularly when people are speaking fairly quickly, it's difficult to differentiate them in the beginning. So it's definitely something to concentrate on, to practice. Yeah, definitely. One of the problems I always have with students, they feel really silly when they're making this sound, particularly when they're not used to it, if they don't realize how to make it, because of sticking your tongue out. Now, whilst you don't have to have your tongue completely out, you know, in a way, you feel like you're putting your tongue out. It's, you know, some languages like Italian, it just doesn't come out at all. So people feel like, you know, maybe they're being rude, or they feel sort of embarrassed, or you know, worried what people are going to think when they stick their tongue out. Because I mean, sticking your tongue out has lots of different meanings and different circumstances and different parts of the world as well.
Yeah, especially when you're younger. Sort of like sticking you're putting your thumb on your nose and going, yeah, being rude, mocking someone by sticking your tongue out.
Taste something you don't like. You stick your tongue out. Yeah?
Like that, yeah, exactly. Yeah, disgusted with something, or maybe taunting someone. You know, like when they were kids, like, come and get me. Yeah, I've seen that before.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, you know, can be sort of playful as well, you know, when you're messing around with somebody, joking and what have you, you know, people still, yes, okay, I understand.
Yeah. It also could be quite cute as well, like a little cute little, yeah. It can be cute, yeah, depending who you're doing it to, of course. If you have a good relationship with that person. Between couples, yes.
Yeah, can be.
Yeah, exactly.
And also between couples can be kind of flirtatious as well, can you, when you're sticking your tongue out.
Depending how you do it, you see, that's another way of doing it. Flirtatious and sexual, sticking your tongue out, which I'm not going to do.
I don't think I'm going to try that. No,
I'm not going to do that. No. But also
people
I
think
think
they're stung out when they're They also people stick their tongue out when they're thinking. Thinking about something.
Or when they're really concentrating hard. They're drawing something like. I've seen that a lot, actually. And you just reminded me. In Tibet, now it's one of those countries where sticking your tongue out can actually mean hello. It's something that they do. They do it as a greeting.
Really?
Hello. They do, yes. I suppose the history of it is to see if you have a black tongue. Now, I think it was the 9th century. There was a very, very, very unpopular king called Langdharma. I hope I pronounced that correct. Langdharma, who was known for having a black tongue. So they sort of relate him to a sort of devil kind of character. So it's almost as if you're showing them that you do not have a black tongue. So you stick your tongue out as a greeting, hello, and they're like, oh, he's got a pink tongue, he's all right, he's my mate. Where if you have a black tongue, woe betide. Yes.
Yeah.
In Tibet.
What? So they don't eat licorice in Tibet then?
That's a good point. Yes, exactly.
I wonder if they do. They probably don't have licorice anyway, but...
No, they probably won't. No. Or maybe the king was addicted to licorice and that's why he had a black tongue. Because, I mean, having a black tongue can't be healthy.
Certainly won't be squid ink in Tibet, would it? It doesn't have a C.
Yeah.
So
Good
it
point.
can't be, couldn't be the excuse.
No, definitely not.
Okay, time for today's tongue twister.
That's right. It's tongue twister time. Okay, so it is up to me today to come up with the tongue twister. It is indeed,
yes.
Now, going back to the sound that we were using in our phoneme, it was the th sound, the airy th sound. I'm going to continue using a tongue twister using that noise. Okay, so here we go. First time, here we go. The 33 thankful thieves thought that they thanked the other 33 thankful thieves throughout Thursday. Why don't you give that a go, Roger?
The 33 thankful thieves.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't remember the next bit. The 33 thankful.
Yeah, so the 33 thankful thieves, you got that bit correct. Thought that they thanked the other 33 thankful thieves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 33 thankful thieves thought that they had thanked the other 33 thankful thieves
throughout
Thursday.
That's it. Now say that in one, if you can.
33 thankful thieves thought that they had thanked the 33 thankful thieves throughout Thursday.
Very done. Very well done.
That's not bad.
That's not bad, isn't it? That's not bad. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
One more time. The 33 thankful thieves thought they... I screwed it up. Let me try again. The 33 thankful thieves thought that they thanked the other 33 thankful thieves throughout Thursday. Boom.
Okay, have a go at that, listeners. See how well you get on with that. And why not send us a recording of it to put it on social media or something? And
yes, absolutely.
Let us hear you saying it.
Let's hear how well you do. See if you could do better than me or Roger. That would be wonderful. And
definitely.
if it's good, then we're going to play it. Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll hear it again in the future. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well done. That was a good one. Thanks for him.
You're welcome. And you did very well, I have to say. You did very well indeed, as always. Right. What's happening now? It's the
word of the week.
Word of the week. Exactly. And do you have a word for us, Roger?
I do indeed. Thalassophile.
Ooh.
Thalassophile.
Yeah.
What do we
Thalassophile.
What do we think that means? Well, it actually means, and I quite like this word, even though it's not in common use, that's for sure. But it's got something to do with the sea. And I do like the sea because I started life off on the sea windsurfing, where I used to live in the UK. I did a lot of windsurfing when I was still at school. And today, and these days, I like to go sailing on the bigger boats, bigger yachts.
So I would say that you are a thalassophile.
I could well be. Well, we'll see. Then we've got a few questions. We've got a little bit of a magazine quiz type thing to find out whether you're a thalassophile or not. So a thalassophile is a lover of the sea, someone who finds joy and peace of mind while at the sea. So if you like spending your vacation time at the beach rather than anywhere else, I think you are probably a thalassophile.
I think a lot of Italians are. Yeah, a lot of Italians do enjoy staying at the beach, don't they? Yeah, part of the culture, really.
Yeah, it's one of those things that always comes up: beach or mountains, beach or mountains.
One or the other. Yeah.
Yeah. If you can't get enough of that salty ocean air and all those sea animals, so I don't know, marine life, I suppose diving and what have you, you're a thalassophile. You could live in any country, doesn't have to be a coastal nation like Italy, Greece, Portugal, somewhere in the Mediterranean, or Brazil, or wherever you are. Australia, completely surrounded by water. New Zealand, again, completely surrounded by water.
So basically what you're saying is if you could live in any other country, but as long as it's near the coast, is that what you're saying? Yeah, basically that's what you're saying.
I guess you, if you're always wanting to get to the coast, however far away that is, and it's more likely if your country has a coastline than not. Also, you want to have a break from work, or you're feeling down, you've got the blues, you don't want to go into work on a Monday morning, you'd rather be lying on a sunbed on the beach in the sun, reading a book, obviously with the factor 50 or more suntan cream on, because we don't want you getting burnt and what have you.
You don't want to get burnt, no, exactly.
But if that's your ideal place to be on a Monday morning rather than at work, then maybe you're a Thalassophile.
Probably 99% of the world population, I think. Who wants to be at work on a Monday? Not me.
Do you wear flip-flops, Raheem?
Me? Do you know what?
Yeah.
I don't like flip-flops at all. No, I really I have a bad relationship with flip-flops. I have to wear like closed sort of beach shoes. Because the flip-flops, I don't know, because I've got big sweaty feet. So when I'm walking around in flip-flops on a summer's day, I'm sliding around constantly, and I always feel like I'm going to fall out of my flip-flops. So I can't wear flip-flops, mate.
Flip-flops, it's got different names in different parts of the world. Where I'm originally from, we call them slip-slops, which would be more
slip-slops?
Which would be more appropriate.
Perfect for me, because I'm slipping around. Whoa. Yeah, I prefer like something like a croc or something closed.
So, Raheem, do you know what they call their flip-flops in Australia?
No? What do they call them in Australia?
Thongs.
Excuse me, could you say that again?
Thongs. They call them thongs.
You're joking.
That's their name. Makes us laugh.
Oh, that really made me laugh. So in
thongs
Australia,
in the UK are
underwear for ladies, I suppose. Yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, they call them thongs. I had no idea. Goodness me, that made me laugh. Oh dear.
Anyway,
have you got your thongs on? Excuse me, I don't wear thongs. No, we're going to the beach. What? Excuse me? Oh dear, sorry. Carry on.
That's got your imagination going there, right?
It really did, yes.
Anyway, Thalassophile. The interesting bit about that word is the phile, I think, on the end, coming from the Greek phylos, or French phile, medieval Latin philos. Basically, we put it on the end of words to mean someone that loves or likes or is attracted to a particular thing. So, for example, Anglophile, somebody who loves all the English culture, English language, and what have you. Audiophile, somebody who loves good quality audio. So, hi-fi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it sounds like an audiophile. What audiophile do you have? I've got an MP3. Audiophile.
Yeah, this is file PH, not FILE. It's PHILE. Sorry, I should have explained that from the beginning. Audiophile. Bibliophile. Biblio is related
to do with Bibles?
Yeah, you might think that.
Well,
books.
yeah.
Books.
Okay. Bibliophile.
Somebody who likes books. People are always reading books. A bibliophile, yes. Discophile.
Well, I think I'm a discophile. Someone who likes to go into the disco, perhaps. Dancing around. I'm a discophile. No?
Yes. Yeah. John. What you mean? John Travolta is a discophile. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
No. Discophile is related to the old discs, the LPs, albums, and what have you. So again, it's related to music.
LPs. So someone who likes LPs, to listen to music on LPs. Is that what a discophile is then?
Yeah, I guess it's coming back because people are buying records. These are the vinyl records that for music, listening to music.
My cousin, he's been buying them for years. He hasn't stopped buying them, so they still produce them. I'm sure. So yeah, so he's definitely a discophile.
Yes, they would put them on the record player to listen to the music in the days of, well, even before tapes, wasn't it? Before tapes.
Yeah. In fact, a lot of people say that they prefer listening to LPs because of the sound quality rather than CDs, MP3s, or tapes. They say that the sound is a better quality, sort of a more. I think it's the resonance.
It's the analog versus digital argument.
Yeah.
So records are analog, whereas CDs and MP3s and what have you is all digital. So, but I think the only way I know the difference is because it goes crackle and pop on the records. So you get a bit of hiss in the background.
It's true. There's always a little bit going on there. Yeah, exactly.
And then we got hippophile.
No,
H-I-P-P-O.
someone who loves hippos. Come on, hippophile. That's a real word? Hippophile? Tell us what hippophile means.
Again, going back to the Greek origins, I think somebody who likes horses, somebody who loves horses, horsey people are hippophiles. People. Yes, exactly. So there we go. Thalassophile, and anything that's a phile, P-H-I-L-E, is something or someone that likes something in particular. Good. Have you got a word for us, Rahim?
I do. It's a slightly strange sounding word. Throttlebottom.
Yeah, what?
That's correct. I said Throttlebottom.
It's my favorite word. It makes me laugh every single time. Bottom, bum, butt, anything.
So yes, Throttlebottom. I picked it just to make Roger laugh, as always. So the meaning is a harmless, incompetent person in a position of power. Now, I am sure we know lots of Throttlebottoms. Now, or we have known a lot of Throttlebottoms in our lives. Yes, it's basically someone who's harmless and totally incompetent, and this person is in a position of power. Yes, there we are. It is an American English word, Throttlebottom. It is used in the UK, but just not as much. But it's definitely an American word. Throttlebottom has a whimsical and somewhat humorous connotation, making it interesting for its playfulness. Throttlebottom, as you saw Roger sniggering when I said bottom. Yes, it.
Try calling your boss that tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Excuse me, Throttlebottom, or stop being a Throttlebottom. I don't think that your boss will take it kindly, indeed.
What a Throttlebottom you are.
Even if your boss doesn't understand what it means, it still sounds like an insult. Throttlebottom. It's not really used. It's not so common, but it's a novelty. It's more of a novelty word. Yeah. So if you do encounter it, please take some time to relish in its humorous status.
I think you've got to try and use that tomorrow. I think we've got to try and put that word into some kind of conversation we're having. Yeah, there we go.
Challenge accepted. I'm going to be using Throttlebottom tomorrow. I will try and record a conversation, and somehow I'm going to use Throttlebottom in the conversation. And if it's good, I will share it with the listeners for sure. What's next? Yeah, the word carries a sort of subtle social and political commentary, describing someone who may have authority but lacks competence, inviting reflection on leadership dynamics. There you are. There you go. Throttlebottom.
Politics strings to mind, but politicians. But I don't think we'll go there, shall we?
Yeah, I didn't want to mention any names. You never know who's listening. You Throttlebottoms.
Right, let's move on, shall we? We're going on to some kind of Throttlebottoms. The word goblins for this week. We are talking about spelling.
Oh, spelling. Yes, that terrible
English
terrible
spelling.
Thing. Yes, terrible. Complicated.
As mother tongue speakers of English, we went through the whole rigmarole of having to learn English spelling. We had spelling tests. I don't know about you, Rahim, but every single week we had at least 10, if not 20 or 30 words to learn. In the first few years of our, first few years of our lives, but certainly the first few years of school was constant, wasn't it?
No, not in Scotland. No. We don't know how to spell in Scotland. No, we never did any spelling. No, anyway. I totally understand what you're saying. Spelling bees, constant spelling competitions. It was definitely a major part of growing up in a British school. Yeah, lots of spelling.
I mean, part of the reason is that, you know, words have grown from other languages. You know, we take words from, seems like we'll take words from anybody. I mean, you know, obviously there's a lot of Latin, Greek, German, French influence in terms of the words that we use. So that has possibly contributed to it as well. But for some reason, we like to complicate our lives with the spelling of words. We'll go through a few sort of examples of the types of spelling problems that we come across. Silent letters. Why do we have silent letters? I really do not get this.
Hate it. They really hate this silent letter thing that we have in our spellings.
I just don't get it, and I'm sure everybody that's listening doesn't get it either. I mean, who gets it? When you're learning English and you think, there's a silent letter? What? Why bother? Just take it out. Let's leave it out. Anyway, some examples. The K in night, as in Knights of the Round Table. Not good night.
As in not like last night. What were you doing last night, mate? No. The Knights of the Round Table. Yeah.
Yes, the white knights, the black knights, when they're fighting each other. Anyway, Knight. Night. Not knight. Another one is knife, of course. Knife and fork. Knife.
Yes.
Knife. Knife. But it's not pronounced like that. Knife.
Well, it's definitely not pronounced like that. So like some of my students, they do pronounce it knife. And it's like, nope. Welcome to English spelling.
The subtle B in subtle. S-U-B-T-L-E. There's a B in the middle there. Not pronounced. Not subtle. It's subtle. Subtle. Why is it there? Just to be annoying, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh dear. Well, I would like to do a bit more research on why these letters are there. I mean, there must be a specific reason. There has to be. I mean, is it the way that we pronounce our words are different now, but the spelling stays the same? I don't know. I'm going to have to do a bit more research, and possibly in one of our next podcasts, I will reveal my findings.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, another annoying thing is multiple pronunciations. So, like, some words can be pronounced differently based on regional accents or context. For instance, schedule can also be pronounced schedule. So in the UK, we would say schedule, but in America, they would pronounce it as schedule. Spelled exactly the same, but just pronounced differently. Yeah, there you go. What others do you have?
Tomato.
That's it. Tomato. There's a big difference there, but it's spelled the same. What else do we have?
I liked your accents there, Raheem.
I've been working on it,
Well, I would expect it only the best from you anyway, so.
There you go. Another one is read and read. Spelled the same, pronounced differently. Yeah.
R-E-A-D.
R-E-A-D, indeed. What else do we have?
And in the same vein, lead and lead, L-E-A-D. To lead, lead, read, read.
Live and live. This confuses my students a lot. Live and live. Spelled the same.
I want to live and stay alive. It's not the same word, I know, but... Wind and wind. W-I-N-D. Wind, what blows through the trees. And wind, you wind a handle. You wind the... Well, no, cars don't have winding handles for their windows anymore.
Roger, how old are you?
That's showing my age. Well, yeah, my first car had handles to wind the window up and down. An Escort Mark II.
Oh, well, yes, to wind the width. Yes, exactly. That is true. Yeah, that is true. What else do we have? Row and row. To have a row with someone is to have a little argument with them. Or we row a boat. We row your boat gently down the stream.
Merrily.
Life is but a dream. Yeah, that's another classic from our school days. Here we go.
Yeah.
Have you got another one for us?
Tear, T-E-A-R. You tear a piece of paper in half. Or when you're a little bit sad, you have a little tear in your eye.
I got another one. Bass or bass. So what kind of guitar do you play? I play a bass guitar. Boom, 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 boom.
I'm really good. I play a bass guitar.
A bass. A bass is also a fish. Yes, a bass.
Yes, B-A-S-S. B-A-S-S. Then on the opposite end of the scale to that, we have homophones, where we have the same pronunciation, but different spellings. So words that you pronounce in exactly the same way, but the spelling and clearly the meanings are completely different. So, for example, write, as in write a letter, W-R-I-T-E, and I'm turning to the right, R-I-G-H-T. Write a letter, turning to the right. Same pronunciation, completely different spellings. Why?
There you go. Especially when giving directions, it can be a bit confusing.
Another one is him and him. Same pronunciation, but him as in I know him, H-I-M, or when I'm in church, I sing a hymn, H-Y-M-N, right. Him and him. What about
like a religious song?
Yes, yeah, hymn, yeah, exactly. Horse, H-O-R-S-E, is the animal that people ride. Or I'm getting a little bit hoarse. H-O-A-R-S-E. I'm doing my best.
I think we used that. We used that in one of our jokes. I think it was one of the first jokes that we did in one of our first podcasts.
It was. I think it was our first one. Yeah.
I'm feeling a little hoarse.
Yeah. Hole and hole. As in, I made a great big hole in the ground, H-O-L-E, and I ate a whole chicken, W-H-O-L-E, as in I ate everything, an entire chicken. That would be quite something if I did that, that's for sure. Anyway, homophones, words that are pronounced the same, but have different spellings and different meanings. What another pain in the neck for English.
Yeah. What's next? Irregular verbs. That's another pain in the butt, pain in the neck, pain in the butt. You can say them both. So irregular verbs. English has a number of irregular verbs with forms that don't follow standard patterns. Why not? Why do we have irregular verbs? Like, for example, go, which is the present, and went, go, and went. So went will be the past. There we go. Very, very annoying. And gone, which is the past participle. So you have go, went, gone.
Begin, began, begun.
There we go. Begin, began, begun. Very
Bring,
good.
brought.
And so
Ring,
on and
rang,
so forth.
rung.
There are many, many, many irregular verbs in English.
Yeah. And the only way to learn them is to just to memorize them. Just get a list off the
Parrot
internet.
fashion.
Learn 10 a week, just like we did with the spellings all those many years ago.
When we were younger. Yeah.
Another confusing thing with spelling is the plurals, how plurals change. So normally you just add an S on the end of words, or sometimes ES, depending on the word. But then we've got a lot of irregular ones as well, don't we? So it's not just a question of, it's a plural, let's just add an S. No, child becomes children. Ox becomes oxen. Yeah. And sheep become
sheep.
sheep.
Sheep. Also
yeah,
fish.
Sheep don't change. Yeah, fish. Well, it also kind of depends where you're from as well, because certainly British English is sheep. Plural of sheep is sheep, and the plural of fish is fish. But I know in some parts of the world, definitely fish. The plural of fish is fishes.
I have heard that. I don't know if it's a mistake or not, but for us, it's a mistake. Fish.
British English, it's a mistake. Yes.
Yeah, sheeps. Yeah. No, big no.
And then the other thing with adding an S, if you've got a Y on the end of a word, like study, S-T-U-D-Y, the plural of that is studies, the Y becomes an I, and you add ES. So that was always the saying that we had to learn. The Y becomes an I, and you add ES. Y becomes an I, and you add ES. Anyway, so that'll do, I think, for the moment for spellings. We're definitely going to come back to some of these in the future and delve into a little bit more detail and a little bit more.
The topic is far too vast. Oof.
Just wanted to point out, as if you didn't already know, spelling in English is a pain in the
butt.
Exactly.
Yes, indeed.
All right, Rahim, I've got a different section for you today. It's called Intonation Intended. An intonation exercise. Intonation being the stress, the when you make something a bit louder because you want to add more importance to that particular word, okay? So I've got a phrase here that we're going to repeat more than a few times. It's by Alfred Lord Tennyson. It's from his poem In Memoriam AHH, written in between 1833 and 1850. This is the quote: "'Tis better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all."
I would love to read that. Let me have a go. "'Tis better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all."
Yes, quite often quoted as a reason to, it maybe hurts. Love hurts. That's a common expression as well. But it's better to have actually experienced love than to never ever have experienced love at all. That's basically what he's saying. The actual poem is about it talks about grief, about loss, because it was to do with one of Tennyson's close friends, Arthur Henry Hallam, and it expresses the idea that the experience of love, even if it ends in sorrow, even if it's traumatic, stressful, etc., is actually more valuable than never having experienced love in the first place. And I think we pretty much all know what that means.
Yes.
We've pretty much all experienced it.
Love can hurt a lot. It really does. It really does. And to not have experienced it would possibly be worse than experiencing it and getting hurt. So that's what Roger's saying. Love is a complicated one, that one. We've all had our our experiences with that.
Yeah, I was just waiting to see where you'd go with that, Rahim. But let's bring it back to what I wanted to talk about, which was about intonation. So,
yes.
Basically, that's the phrase. There's an exercise that you can practice with at home as well. So, I will ask you a question by changing one of the words, okay, in the sentence. And all you've got to do is just keep repeating the same sentence with the emphasis on the word that I got wrong, okay? So, let's just try this out. 'Tis worse to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all.
No, 'tis better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all.
'Tis better to have seen and lost than to have never loved at all.
No, 'tis better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all.
I got it. 'Tis better to have loved and never seen anybody again forever and ever than to have never loved at all. I'm waiting for your answer, Rahim.
I don't have an answer for that one, sorry.
No, 'tis better to have loved and lost than to have never loved.
'Tis better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all.
So, 'tis better to have loved and lost than to have ever loved at all.
No, 'tis better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all.
Got it. 'Tis better to have loved and lost than to have never loved ever again.
No, 'tis better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all.
I just keep getting this wrong. What is it? Repeat again, Rahim. What is it? Tell me.
'Tis better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all.
There we go. That's what it is. There we go. The quote by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Right, Rahim. I have a great question to ask you.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. Pick a number between 1 and 500.
Gosh, 1 in 500. Let me think. Let's go for something random like 123. 1, 2, 3.
That doesn't sound very random to me. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is actually kind of on point with what we're actually doing here. The question is, what languages do you wish you could speak?
Oh, well. I wish I could speak Russian. I think
Really?
It sounds amazing. Yes, I've always wanted to speak Russian. Yeah, I love the sound of it. Yeah. Voda. I know a couple of words. Доброе утро. Пожалуйста. Like just a couple of random words. Please, thank you. I think good night is доброе утро. Actually, I don't know what доброе утро means. But it's definitely Russian.
Somebody's going to tell us if you.
Please tell me
got
what
it
it
wrong.
means.
Okay, that's interesting. I wish that, I should be able to speak it, but I don't. I know a few words and a few expressions. Shona or Indebele, which is two of the main languages from where I was born, which of course is Zimbabwe. So, Mangwanani, the greeting, the standard greeting, Mangwanani, Waswera se, Indaswera kana waswera wo, Indaswera.
Wow. Look at that.
Which I really like because it more or less means hello, how are you today? I'm fine, I'm doing well today. If you are doing well. Yes, I am also doing well today. So I am doing fine too. So it's kind of like the nice
long-winded way.
Yeah, but it's kind of like very polite, very respectful.
Super polite.
Exactly. But yeah, I wish I could speak. I should learn it really. I began learning it. I lived there, but I was 14 when I left, so I hadn't quite got to the stage of properly speaking it. But
Yeah.
I should learn it one of these days. I'm going to, definitely. Anyway, that was a good choice of question. I like that. We'll have to have another one on the next episode, I think. Anyway,
I like it.
We'll see.
I like it.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Well, it comes to that time of the day.
Yes, I think we should wrap it up. We've been going longer than we normally do. This is the longest one we've actually recorded. I don't know whether it'll end up as the longest one, but we've certainly spent more time recording this than any before.
Rambling on.
Anyway, what do you think is the most stupid spelling in English? What word has the craziest spelling as far as you're concerned? Give it in. Put it up in one of the comments, either obviously in the YouTube comment section or on our social media or in the podcast, whatever.
Somewhere where we can read it, basically.
Yes,
and also, what you can do is you can give us a question. So what question would you like to ask us to find out more about us? Any question. We don't mind.
If it's a great question, we will ask it on air in the podcast.
Absolutely.
And
give the
answer
answer
it,
to
obviously. Yes, exactly. Okay, I think that's a wrap, Rahim. So,
it sure is.
I think it's goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from me.
Ciao for now.
Bye-bye, guys.